In today's video, we're going to be installing a whole house water filtration system.
Seriously, I just had it.
For years, I've been unhappy with the quality of water in my home, and so I picked up this iSpring whole house water filtration system. It's the heavy duty model, and it will filter every last bit of water that comes into the house. And I'm hoping that in installing this, I will be able to eliminate the little buildup and calcification and the mineral deposits that occasionally you need to clean out of your faucets and from your shower head and all that other stuff. And honestly, just to have better drinking water. So let's dig into this box and see what's inside. Well, here we are. Inside the box were more boxes, and the outer portion of the box had a little ding in it, and this has been damaged. I'm hoping that the unit itself hasn't sustained anything significant so that it's still usable and I don't have to return anything. Oh, it looks like I lucked out. There's just a tiny little scuff on the back side of the mounting plate. It's purely cosmetic. It's not going to affect anything functionally, so we're good there. This particular model is a WGB32B by iSpring, and it comes with 2 carbon filters and a sediment filter in order to filter the water to your house. In my particular case, the water is not too hard here, so I'm not doing a water softener, and I'm also not doing a UV filter or anything crazy like that. My goal is to just get the sediment out of my water and make it better. Here's a quick breakdown of what comes in the kit. You've got your filter cartridges and the cartridge housings. There's 3 of them in this particular kit. You have your mounting bracket and of course the 3-stage filtration system that houses all your filters and your cartridge housings. And you have these NPT fittings that will go in either end so that you can hook everything up. And of course a filter cartridge housing wrench so that you can really snug them down and make sure that you don't have any leaks in the system. The kit does not come with any shutoff valves, any adapters that you might need to change the diameter of your pipe and your ins and outs. So if you have a 1-inch coming in and it downsizes to 3/4, and you're going to need those fittings in order to make this system work. It also doesn't come with any mounting hardware to mount this to a wall or a board or anything like that. So you're going to need to be prepared to need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, or even supplyhouse.com in order to order all the fittings that you're going to need to get this system together, which is kind of why I'm laying things out in the garage prior to going to the house, and just make sure that I have everything I need prior to beginning this project. Because I absolutely know that if I don't have absolutely everything that I need prior to starting in on this project, I'm gonna need to leave in the middle of things, go to the store and buy something, and the whole house will be without water in the meantime. So once I start this project, I just wanna make darn sure that I have everything that I need prior to the installation. Another thing I'm gonna have to do to kind of make this custom fit my needs is right now, the water is designed to come in from this side and go out on this side. I need it to go the opposite direction because my water that feeds my house will be on this side, and instead of bringing it the whole way back around and doing all that and adding extra plumbing fittings that could potentially fail and all that other stuff, I'm just going to reverse this by taking out these 12mm bolts, flipping things around, and then swapping all the stickers so that no one gets confused as to what's going on should this ever need service by someone other than me. Should you need to do this step, you want to keep in mind that this housing on the underside is all plastic, and it comes with wood screws in order to secure it to the mounting hardware. So just be careful. You probably don't want to use an impact on this. You want to do this job by hand. Here we have our layout. Special thanks to supplyhouse.com for fast shipping and easy ordering process. That's where I got all my fittings so that I'm not paying the extra, Lowe's and Home Depot tax on fittings like this. Taking a quick glance at the filter setup itself, I did keep 1 inch from here the whole way over to here where it reduces to 3/4 to feed the house. I did this because I wanted it to have really good flow, but more importantly, I wanted less turbulence coming into the filtration system, and going from 1 inch to 3/4 prior to doing that would create a little bit of turbulence. I have shutoff valves here and here for service purposes, and I have a pressure gauge here and here so that I can monitor what my PSI going in is and going out, and that will give me a very good idea of when these filters get clogged up and need changed out. Over on this side, I have a 1 inch to 1 inch to 3/4 with a shutoff valve that I can use to drain the system into a bucket so that whenever I'm changing out the filters, I can kind of drain everything from at least here down, and then I can get a bucket underneath each individual filter in order to change them individually. Now, before I went too crazy, I did want to pressure test all of this. You can see that it's at 40 PSI. It has been for about an hour and a half now. And the way I did that is I just hooked up a little air inlet to the side with a valve and a pressure gauge. I used the same setup to pressure test my in-floor heat before I filled it with fluid. I wanted to make sure that all my NPT fittings in through here were not going to leak prior to installing it, so that I didn't have a watery mess if one of these fittings were leaking and I needed to redo it. To install all the NPT fittings that I have here, 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 and here for the pressure gauges, I did use Blue Monster paste, and then I did several wraps with Blue Monster Teflon tape as well, just to make darn sure that I don't have any leaks and go from there. The Blue Monster is great stuff. Highly recommend that. You can use it on pretty much anything. Those of you with a sharp eye will notice that I do not have some of this stuff connected at the moment. That is because I left about a foot of space on this side, just in case in the future I might want to add in a water softener or something like that. But I didn't connect anything because I'm not sure how much space I'm going to have left to right, and I need to be able to disassemble all of this, not only to install it, but just to make sure that it's positioned properly where I'm going to do the install. Well, now that I have all this figured out, let's take a field trip to the house and get this thing mounted and installed. Well, here we are on the underside of my house. I have a split entry and my water line comes in underneath the stairs here. I've got this laid out pretty much where I want it, and you can see I have about 10 inches of space on this side. And again, I left myself a foot here in case I wanted to put in a water softener or something like that in the future. The next thing for me is going to be getting this thing mounted. I'm going to disassemble this and use this old 2x6 that came from an old bunk bed. Thanks, Esp. And I'm going to mount it up to the ceiling here, secure it with some really long screws, and then I can mount the actual unit up so that obviously these guys will be off the floor for servicing purposes. Now that I have the backboard mounted up here and I have it secured with 5 long screws, part that I've personally been dreading, shutting off the water to the house and cutting the pipe. So what I'm going to do here, turn off the supply of water to the house completely. I'm going to go upstairs to the furthest and highest point, and then I'm going to open up those valves, and then I'm going to come down into the basement. I'm going to open up the valve down here, and I'm going to let all of the residual water that's laying in all the pipes drain out to the lowest point before I make this cut. And when I make that cut, inevitably some water is going to come out. I'll have a bucket and a towel ready whenever the time comes. Oh yeah, and another thing, if you have a hot water tank, you want to shut the valves on the in and out of that as well whenever you do this. Well, it took about 10 minutes for me to drain all the water that I possibly could from all the pipes. I'm down to a slow drip down here in the basement. So I'm going to make a cut probably right here and then try to wiggle this over the bucket as quick as I can. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, God. Well, that wasn't terrible. A little bit of water back here, no big deal. Now that I have a little bit of working room, I'm going to use this little crimp remover tool to remove this crimp here, and I'm probably just going to cut this one out since my 90 is going to be about here for this. Here we have a look at our final install. You can see the water comes up, we'll feed the filtration system, come through under the back side and feed the house, which is back here. And should I need to service it, I can shut off this valve, and then I can open this one and this one to bypass the filter completely so that I don't have service interruption whenever I go to change the filters. Well, I guess the only thing to do now is install the filter cartridges and then go close all of the valves in the house and then turn the water back on. Hope we don't have any leaks. On another side note, one of the reasons I use the 2x6 is to kind of push it back away from the wall just a little bit, so that whenever I go to service filters, I can just slide a bucket right underneath, and then all the water goes into the bucket whenever I go to replace the filter cartridges. In this particular model, there are 3 stages, and the first stage is a sediment filter. It looks like this, and the last 2 stages are a carbon filter, and they look like this. They're a little bit heavier, and they have the screening around them. So you want to make sure that you install your filters in the right spots. Another thing of note is on the bottom sides of these, there's a little rubber seal, and you want to keep that clean so that it makes a good tight seal against the bottom of the canister and also up top. Now that I have all the faucets upstairs and downstairs closed back up, I can turn the main water back on. One of the things to keep in mind is these carbon filters need to kind of rinse out and get rid of all that sediment. So whenever you turn the water system on, you want to find the nearest, usually basement sink drain, and run a bunch of water through it, probably 5 or 10 minutes, and it'll come out probably black looking because of all the carbon soot from these filters. So make sure that you have all your faucets off in the house, turn the water back on, and then flush just the cold water through so that you're not putting all that sediment in through your hot water tank. While I have this cracked open and all these are filling up, I'm actually going to open the valve on this side and let it run through the house and go open the faucet in the basement so that I can start flushing these filters. Well, that about wraps things up for me. I've got the water running for about another 10 minutes here. It is coming out a little bit cloudy, which is no big deal, perfectly normal. As soon as that clears up, I'll go to the rest of the house, open up all those valves and bleed the air out of them. And yeah, we should be good to go. Things are holding great at about 62 PSI on both sides. And as this pressure gauge drops down, I'll know that the filters are getting a little bit more clogged up, especially when the water's running. And that'll give me a great indicator of when it's time to change the filters. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check how many gallons are on my water meter currently, and that way I can see about how many gallons per filter set I can get whenever it's time to replace them. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of today's video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. So I've got 2 CTOs and 1 PP. I didn't know they made PP filters, but here we are.